Hey, so Dame Lillard, an interview that I did yesterday, and we got him. He's in his car, and he's being shut down for the rest of the season. And you know what? He does an interview at least once every year, and he's always good. And I wanted to talk to him about a variety of things. And I started out by saying nobody plays defense in the NBA anymore, right?
I mean, that seems to be a popular thing to say, and then you get out there, and it'll be hard for a lot of people to get something done.
Do you think I could score on Luka?
Uh, Probably not.
Okay. But the fact that you gave it some thought, because Luka doesn't play defense. I'm going to take that as a compliment.
It depends on how much effort he was willing to give.
You're listed as a point guard, aren't you?
Yeah.
But you're a shooting guard.
No, I'm a point guard.
Why do we even have designations? Why don't we, like first team, second team, all NBA? I said to the commissioner, why do you have to have a center on there? Why not the 5 best players? Because there's a lot of money attached to making first, second, third team. Why are we still doing that?
I definitely think it should be the best 5 players, not by position. I agree with that.
Well, help me out here. I mean, I'm trying to lead the charge here so we can have the 5 best players. I mean, look, Rudy Gobert's a nice player. He shouldn't be first team all NBA or second team all NBA because he plays center.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, like you said, it's one of those things because it's position based. You end up having to plug somebody in there, even if they're not actually performing at that level. And then somebody that is might end up missing out on it. So I definitely think it should be the 5 best.
How much basketball do you watch when you're not playing?
I watch a lot. I'm usually, especially on the West Coast, I'm usually, trying to make it home for that first Eastern Conference game that start at 4:00 here. Even if it's, 2 teams that aren't, in the running for anything, I'll still go and watch the game. I think that's why I'm familiar with a lot of players. I just know, just from watching so many games, I'll watch every game if I could.
Who's your MVP this year?
Joel Embiid.
Why?
I picked Joel Embiid because he's, I feel like he's been dominant all season long. His team is winning. I feel like he could have won it one of the last 2 years, but I think Jokic won it both times. And I just think because he's been, to me, the most dominant player, he's been carrying his team. I think you can't continue to give it to a guy who's won it twice in a row. And especially when you have a guy like this that's performing at the same level or maybe even higher. And he also, didn't get it, one of the last 2 times when he was at that level. I just think that, that's not how it should work.
And you could give it to Giannis again this year.
Yeah, you could. The one thing is that I feel like I would choose Embiid over both guys is because with Giannis, as great as he is, he won those back-to-back MVPs, and that doesn't mean he shouldn't be able to win it again. But when you look at the depth of their team, like they just so deep, they're gonna win a lot of games. You got guys like Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez, Joe Ingles. I mean, they so deep. Bobby Portis, they so deep that they're gonna win games, and that doesn't take the credit away from how great Giannis is. But I just feel like, the team success factor is going to be played in. So you also have to consider just how good that team actually is, So this year I would give it to Embiid. I think it's his turn.
Somebody going to get 90 points in a game?
I don't know when, but I can see it happening for sure.
Who would be your pick?
I would either pick myself or I would pick Steph Curry.
See, I wondered about Clay being a guy or Booker. Well, I mean, these guys have had 60, 70. You're there. What would it take?
I think they're capable of doing it. Book or I think Clay would have a harder time because Clay doesn't get to the free throw line.
Okay. Yeah, because you're going to have to shoot about 20 free throws at least.
I mean, you're gonna need to shoot a significant amount, and I just don't think he shoots enough free throws. I mean, he could make a lot of threes. I'm sure Clay could get really, really hot for three and make a lot of threes, but I mean, if you think about it, you can make 20 threes and you're still 30 points away.
I know.
So, I mean, you're going to need to get to that line. You're going to need to get to the rim a little bit. I mean, so I would say Steph. I could see Book possibly doing it as well.
Is your season over?
Most likely, yeah.
Your decision?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's my decision at all. I think maybe the team protected me from myself. We've had so many injuries on our team. Not just right now, but throughout the season. And you got guys who've been banged up that just aren't healthy enough to go out there and make a run for it right now. And with me having a few injuries this season with my calf, none serious, and then having to play so many minutes down the stretch because of those injuries that we have now, calf started to tighten back up on me. Not in a way like, something crazy, but just tighten up to where it's almost precautionary, because there is something there and it is tight. I tweaked my ankle, so it's just like you don't want to be overcompensating, and they know I'm gonna go out there and compete, and I'm gonna try to make it happen. Every time that I've had some type of injury like that, kind of get irritated or aggravated or something like that, it's come from just like a heavy load and stress and just going out there and trying to go above and beyond. So I would say just there is something there, and also them trying to just protect me from myself as well.
Why is loyalty sometimes viewed in a negative light?
I think because it's something that if you're not the person involved, if you're not the person who's living whatever that loyalty is to or whatever that's about, then it's hard to understand. And I think a lot of people look at my situation and they like, man, Dame being loyal and loyal this and loyal that, and they just kind of throw it around. And I've explained it, I'm not trying to give nobody no loyalty. Um, I don't know. I ain't trying to give no loyalty speech and all that stuff, but that seems to be the way it always get flipped because I get asked about, my situation. But for me, I just have a way that I want to get things done for myself, and that doesn't mean that things could never change. The team could one day just be like, look, we want to see that happen too, but it's not working out. We don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
I just have my stance on what I want to see happen. But I mean, in this business, you just never know, man.
But I always go back to KG. KG would be criticized in Minnesota because he was loyal. And I said, it feels like whenever somebody leaves, then you're chasing a ring. And like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, everybody's chasing a ring. That's what we play for. You know what I mean? But it's like when guys leave a team to go to another team, it's like, oh, he's just chasing rings. And I think how it ends up looking that way is because you move on, you move into a situation, and that situation just might not work out. So when it's not working out, maybe the team is having respect for these guys because of, what they've accomplished and who they are. So they saying, okay, this ain't working out here. What do you want to, let's work together. And they're going to try to find the next best situation that suits them and where they could possibly win. So now it's this guy's chasing rings. So, I think you damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
When things change, whether that's in my control or not in my control, then, I'll move from there. But right now, people are like, man, it's time to do this, it's time to do that. But everybody that has something to say, they would never have to wake up and be Dame Lillard. They they'll never have to walk the walk for me. I'll always be the person that has to deal with whatever the pros and cons of my decisions are. So I can't do things based on what other people think or whatever the criticism or whatever the chatter is. I gotta continue to do me.
Yeah. Like I said, if you leave and or you don't leave, then they go, well, why didn't you want to chase a ring? And then if you stay, why, That's why I
He
always
don't
go.
want to win. He
Yeah,
just want to make money.
yeah.
He just this, he just that. But really they don't know. It's just maybe it's just how they feel about themselves. If they were in that position and they made the decision I made, that means this is what I wanted. But really they don't know. So I gotta take it with a grain of salt.
Keep fighting the good fight. Good luck in the off season. Always great
Thank you.
to talk to you, Dame. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Good to see you.
Dame Lillard.